Hey guys, it's Viejo here, and we are in the second week of December in 2024. Kind of a cloudy day here on the central coast of California. I was doing another video out here this morning and it was 50 something degrees, and it's late in the afternoon now and I got up to about 66 it says there, 50% relative humidity. Excuse me. Hey, this is part one of episode 7 of Wadcutter Wednesday. And if you're just tuning in, what we're doing here is I've got a whole bunch of wadcutter molds, 20 something of them, okay, for various calibers. Most of them are for 38, and but I've got them in 41, 44, and 45 also. What I've got for you today is this little bullet right here. This is the Ideal 358-425. Okay, it's a little lightweight bullet. It's a tiny one, you know, as wadcutters go, even for 38. So what we'll do in these two parts, the first part I'm going to show you the mold, take it all apart, show you the bits and pieces and parts, and then we'll get it cast up and take some measurements on them for you and get them powder coated. And then in the second part, we'll load them and shoot them. Okay, so for this one, the second part will be next week. So without further ado, as they say, let's get down here to the bench and take a look at this little Ideal mold. Here's the Ideal 358-425. A little lightweight Type 3 wadcutter for 38 caliber. I've not cast this one before, and I believe that this one actually came in 2 sizes. I'm not sure. We'll have to get it cast and get them weighed and see what this comes out. But I believe it's going to be around 115 grains. It's not very big. Sprue plate. Okay, sprue plate bolt. Okay, it's got a... Oops, let's get a hold of this guy. Requires a fairly decent sized bit to operate that properly. The set screw on this guy was a little bit boogered up, but it's still serviceable. Okay, so we need a smaller blade for that guy. And then our handle bolts again require a flat blade. Not perfect, but not bad. And I have a rebuild kit for these old single cavity molds that it includes all the hardware, but this stuff, even though it's a little beat up, is still serviceable, and the cavities look pretty good in here. Okay, they look pretty clean. So we're going to go ahead and get it scrubbed up and get some single cavity handles on it and go to cast. There it is then, you know, a nice little single cavity mold, slow going at the casting bench, but that's okay. We're not making very many of these anyway at this time. You know, it's kind of a good way to go. If you can get a hold of a single cavity mold like that at a decent price, which I did with that one, then maybe later on you decide, hey, I really like this bullet. You can search around and find a 2 or 4 cavity or something like that, or find a clone from one of the more modern mold makers, something, you know, something along those lines. Anyway. Okay, get down in here and pick this guy up. I want to pick it up so you can see the nose. There's a little button nose. Looks pretty good. You know, base looks good. Yeah, all right. Let's keep going. There we are, the little Ideal. Okay, middle field insignia there, telling us it was made sometime after 1925 and before 1965, so it's an oldie. The 358-425. Okay, all good bullets right from the get-go. 0 culls, you gotta love it. Here's the data for the Ideal 358-425. Came in at 112 grains, so a nice little lightweight bullet. Ran it at 710 out of the Lyman Mag 25 pot with Viejo number 1, a 95.32 approximate BHN of 11. Only 1 cavity, and it measured right at 358. Our overall length 0.457, and from the base up to the top of the crimp groove 0.275. And there are the Lyman 358-425, little short 112 grain wad cutters in Ford light blue. Right. There it is. So it ran pretty good. We didn't make very many, just enough to go out and shoot for you. We'll take a look at the loading and shooting and see what I did with them next week. We'll talk about the load that I'm using for the 38s a little bit more also at that time. I hope you enjoyed that, got something out of it. Tune in next week for the loading and shooting. Don't forget to catch us on YouTube on Friday nights. Also here on Rumble with the Georgia Shooting Connection, our Friday night chat. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern. And I think that should do it for this go-round. So from the Viejo bench for now, that's all she wrote.